Great. All right. Let me come over here. Let's get out of there. Come on over here and hit this button. We are ready to go. All right. Welcome. Welcome. All right, I am just waiting on a connection, and I am so excited to be talking about mindful technology today. Okay, I need to get on the internet, people. On the internet. 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 There we go. There we go. Oh, Tina. Woo, girl. All right, we are live. We are ready. We are rocking and rolling. Okay. So, hi, my name is Miss Janice, and it is a rainy, stormy day, but I am not going to let that stop me from talking about mindful technology today. So, if you have joined me, welcome. And if you don't mind, if you could type in there in the chat there what your name is so I can say hi, hello, how are you? And of course, because it's thunder and lightning, my dog is under my legs and shaking everything. Okay, so I am just gonna look down here and hello, if you are coming on, I'm so happy that you have joined me. And I am going to move forward and talk about mindful technology with our kids. So I'm just going to bulldoze through here because I have six tips that I want to share. So I am on Instagram. So hello, Instagram people. I would love it if you did type in your name. Let me know you're here. Say hello, Janice. Hello, Miss Janice. So glad to see you. And I'm going to dive right in. And also, I want this to be engaging and back and forth. And hopefully, if you have children, you can share with me what your experience has been. You can ask me any questions you might have, and we can do a dialogue back and forth. Okay, so I just had to check there. And once again, welcome. My name is Miss Janice. And I'm so glad you've joined me to talk about mindful technology for children. I am a teacher, over 20 years experience. I am so happy to share my experience that I have used in the classroom and with other people's children, including my nieces and nephews and cousins and thousands of children that I've worked with in classrooms all over. Okay, so here we go. Mindful technology use for kids. I have 6 tips. And the first tip is set limits on screen time. Now, this may seem like, okay, that's an easy tip. Yes, it is. But how do you set limits on screen time? I find in the classroom, and what I do as a teacher oftentimes can carry over in your home. What I find in a classroom is when you make the timers fun, it's more engaging for kids. So, a little hint for you guys out there if you don't know, YouTube, right? And use YouTube Kids if you're unsure if it's going to be safe, because we never know what's going to pop up and not be appropriate on YouTube, right? But YouTube, fun timer for kids. The next time you want to try this tip, using a timer to set limits on screen time, you can use your kids. I don't know what screen time your kid's going to use. It's going to be your phone. It's going to be your iPad. What's it going to be? You can have them on whatever they're using and then use a different phone or use a different computer or use whatever, right, to figure it out. Use TV, smart TVs, whatever. YouTube, short 2-minute, 5-minute timer for kids. They have the most fun timers for kids, and time limits for kids really do work. Kids actually do quite well when you give them a parameter like that. So, number 1 tip for mindful technology use for kids is screen timers, right? To set that time limit. for them to be on? Is it going to be 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Doesn't matter what. And then my tip for you, find a fun timer for them to use. Go on YouTube Kids or YouTube and put in fun timer for kids. Usually I put in the time that I want. So if it's 2 minutes, I put in 2-minute fun timer for kids, 5-minute timer, whatever it may be. That's if you want to dive in and get real fun with it. If you just want to get the job done, I'm sure you have a kitchen timer. I'm sure you have some of your kids might be able to tell time. There's other ways to do it. I'm going to give you the engaging ways to do it, okay? One more tip that goes with that setting limits on screen time is use a reward system. So what number one thing, it's hard with kids to say, set a time limit, 5 minutes, no matter how fun you make it. Perhaps there's a reward. Now, come on. Does the reward have to be a Disney trip? No, okay? But a sticker, extra dessert, you know your kids better than I. Let 5 more minutes on what? On the TV? Give them an incentive. Give them an reward. Okay. Tip number 2 for mindful technology use for kids. Create tech-free zones. Okay. You don't want it in the kitchen. That's a tech-free zone. Now, these tips, you do have to kind of let them marinate in your head and then figure out how you're going to present it to your kids, to your family. But tech-free zones are a great idea. And you can even get really creative with your kids with this one and making signs that's tech-free zones, placing them in the tech-free zones, figuring out where those tech-free zones, it can be a whole team effort, right? So create a tech-free zone, and you can do that by designating a specific area and create designated time. So these tips kind of fall hand in hand with each other, right? Okay, tip number 3, monitor content, right? How do we do that, though? How do we monitor content? Every technology device that your child uses, you should go into the parental controls and set those settings. That's super, super important to do that. And that's just a mindful thing for you to do. That's an easy one to know, and no bells and whistles about it, right? Go to the parental controls, put in what you as the parent want those parental controls to be, and beware of what your child is doing. Now I gotta say, with my niece who's 7 now, she will disappear, and then when she reappears and you're looking at that phone, and maybe some of you can go, I know what you're saying, okay? She's done a whole production on the phone, okay? She's done a whole from act 1 to 2. She even has an intermission. So that means somebody wasn't being aware of what she was doing. I just told on you, or I just told on myself. But look, hey, I'm very curious if you're watching this. How do you monitor content in your home? How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you monitor content in your home? I would love to know, how do you do it? Things are happening, you're cooking, you're on the phone, somebody's at the door, Amazon package, the dog is barking. Your child's on technology. How do you monitor that? I'm very curious if you could type in how you do that. I am going to go back through these comments later and big you up and maybe snag some of those suggestions and ideas that you're giving me and share with others, because sharing's caring. Oh, you hear that thunder? Sharing's caring, and each one teach one. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go on to tip number 4, encourage physical activity. Because we're talking about mindful use of technology, we're going to encourage physical activity. So encourage your child to participate in physical activities outside of technology, like playing sports or going for a walk. Now, this is great if you can set a positive example. Woo! This storm is a brewing. It's loud. I wonder if you can hear it when I play this back. I'm going to see if it's as loud as it feels and sounds when I play this back. And I wonder if it's raining where you are. Type it in, let me know. Okay, so encourage physical activity. And like what's important with this is to set a positive example. So if you're going to encourage your children to do physical activity, you should probably do a little physical activity with them, right? So go on a walk with them, throw a ball with them. If you aren't as mobile yourself, as a teacher, oftentimes I'm not always able or capable wearing the right clothes, the right shoes, the right temperature to actually go and do these things with these kids. But you can think of ways to do it with them where you're not really exerting the energy of an 11-year-old, because you're not. You're like 47 or 50 or older, or maybe you're 30, 35. You just don't have the energy of a 7-year-old, right? So maybe you'll come up with a game like, I'm going to throw this ball. No, that's not like your child's a pet. I'm going to throw this ball, go get this ball, run it back here. And, we're going to do like a little obstacle course, dance game, whatever. I've got tips galore if you want some activities that incorporate your child being active where you aren't so active, but you're involved in the activity. Hit me up. I got it for you. But you definitely want to set a positive example and try to be a part of the activity and make it fun. Maybe it's a freeze dance. Maybe that's the physical activity. You don't have to get out of your chair to do a freeze dance. Your kid could be flipping around, cutting a flip, going here and there all day long, and you could just be in your chair and grooving it out, right? So you can encourage without being fully in there 100%, like the energy of these kids. It's wild. Okay, so we're going to go on to tip number 5, which is use technology together. Use it together. Now, that one's hard because you don't always have the time. Like I just said, sometimes you're cooking, you're making the dinner, you're planning for the lunch tomorrow, you're planning how you're going to get someone to karate, you're planning how you're going to make it to band practice and then to choir. Or like, you moms are amazing, and so are dads too, right? So, but if you're going to use some of these other tips that I gave you, which is set the limits on the screen time and create a tech-free zone, you're going to monitor content. Like this kind of gives you a framework to go, hey, well, this is the set time we're going to use to do it in the tech-free, not in the tech-free zone, in a tech area that we've designated in the home to not be a tech-free zone. And I'm going to stay here and maybe spend some time with you doing this. So use technology together. You can do collaborative learning. My sister likes to do with her daughter, going on YouTube, and there's I'll have to ask her so I can share with everybody. There's a website where a YouTube channel where the guy teaches you simple drawings, and they sit there together and they follow along. Now that's an example of using technology together, right? You can do a creative project and use that technology together to do research, how to make get the recipe to make the cookies, how to build the airplane with the popsicle sticks, right? You can use the technology together. That's a mindful way to use technology together. Okay, we're going to jump on to tip number 6. And I'm going to start tip number 6 with asking a question. How do you model healthy habits with technology? How do you model healthy habits with technology? Can you give me an idea how you do it? I've got some ideas, but I'm curious. How do you model healthy habits with technology? I'm going to give you like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to dive in. But I'm really curious. So I'm going to give you a chance to type it in there. Like, let me know, how do you model healthy habits with technology? Because I'm seriously going to go back here, check what you typed, and I'm going to comment on it. So I really do want to know, like, how do you model healthy habits with technology in your house with your children? How do you do it? Let me know. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you some tips on how to do so. And maybe we are aligned here. Perhaps we are aligned. Okay. Children learn by example. So be mindful of your own technology use and model healthy habits for your child. One way, set screen time limits. if you are on your technology all the time, that is, not really modeling a healthy habit. And I'm laughing because I think back to childhood and out of my parents' mouths. And I'm so sorry, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but out of my parents' mouths would be, do what I say, not what I'll do. That's hard, guys. That's hard. It's hard. How about just show them. If you're going to set up all these things and have a tech-free zone and have set time limits and do all this, you don't have to do the exact same thing as them, but let them at least know in your life you do that too. You're not sitting at the dinner table with your technology. You're not on driving the car and not really mindfully, not using it appropriately and whatever. And that's dangerous, right? Like, to the best of your ability, right? Because we are imperfect human beings, but this is an effort to try our best, right? So, in trying your best, especially if it's an issue in your home and you really, really do need some tips and you really want to try something to have more mindful technology use in your house, then number 6, a pretty good one to go with. Model that healthy habit, right? Set up some of these parameters that I've set out, that I've listed in steps 1 through 5, and those tips 1 through 5. I think go with that modeling part, because I got to tell you, as a teacher, modeling goes hand in hand. There's no really teaching anything, especially in early childhood education. And in that K through second sector, there's no, and even after that, my goodness, there's no teaching without modeling. You model, you show. So, I don't know, that got me really tired talking about that, because modeling is hard and it's tiring. But you could do it. And if you want to know how to recharge, you should join me at 2:30 on my Be Well Sister page, because I am talking today about how, as artists, because I do consider myself an artist, how we can practice self-care as artists. So that's on my Be Well Sister pages at 2:30. So yeah, as a teacher, as an artist, as a mom, as a parent, it's tiring to parent, to teach, right? You're like, parents, woo, that's 24 hours, 7 days a week, minus the time they're in school, right? So that's why that's a partnership right there between parents and teachers. But yeah, model healthy habits, so set screen time limits for yourself. Show them how you do it. You don't have to have the same as them as they do, but definitely set them for yourself, and use technology for positive habits. Let them see you use it for your exercise videos. Let them see you use it for news. Let them see you use it for finding recipes. Let them see you do those things. Oftentimes we're on it and we're talking on it and they're not really seeing what we're doing, but let them see how you use it in a positive way. All right, so that was not very long and very not so painful. So I'm just going to end on one note. I would love to know where you are, whoever's watching. Where are you? Let me know where you're at. I am currently in Florida, in South Florida, but summertime is approaching and I am about to travel. So I will very soon be in Georgia. I will be in South Carolina. I will be in North Carolina. I will be in Virginia. I will be in DC. I will be in New Jersey, New York, and Columbus this summer. And also I might be in Jamaica. Oh, I'm going to be in Las Vegas as well. And I'm really hoping to get to Kenya. This summer, at least for a week or two. So when the summer comes, I get to traveling. But while I travel, I practice wellness and yoga with children. So if I am in your area, I would love to do a yoga class with you or a wellness concert for you with your family and your kids. And you can always reach out to me on my MissJanisMusic.com website or email me at MissJanisMusic. Reach out to me, DM me on Instagram or Facebook. I will be traveling. I will let everybody know where I am. And hey, let's do a house concert. Let's do some yoga in your yard. Hit me up. Let's keep loving ourselves and loving each other and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. I am going to shut this down right now and jump on over to my Be Well Sister page because I am talking today about self-care tips for artists. So if that is something that interests you, join me over there, okay? Have a great day. Be well. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back next week with a new topic. And so, yeah, until then, be well.